Good morning, folks. How are you doing today? So if you watch this channel, you will know that one of my weekly goals heading into this 13-week period is to talk about our book, One Rental at a Time, a little bit more. I really haven't done any marketing of such other than, when folks send me selfies with the book, which I greatly appreciate. The 188,000 book reviews on Amazon, the 48 on Audible, greatly appreciated. And if you haven't taken yet 15 or 20 seconds to leave a review, please do me a favor and leave one. It's really the only marketing I have for the book. But today, in this video, I've promised to talk about this book once a week for the next 13 weeks. So I thought I would kick this off by talking about why I wrote this. And in this book is really the beginning of that is I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Lots of you have told me over the years that it was a game changer for you, as it was for me. I give full credit in the book and in every interview that I've ever been asked to give, because it just shifted my mindset. And more importantly, as bad as it sounds, it introduced a concept I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about rental properties, investment properties. It wasn't talked about in my family. So I had to go figure it out. And what I wanted to do once we kind of got to the end of our journey, which was all of 15 years, was I started writing the book just as almost like a diary, right? What did we suffer through? What did we go through? What worked? What didn't work? That originally became a PDF, which I shared around, and ultimately, based on feedback, became this book, which was self-published in January of 19 on Amazon and most recently on Audible. I have had it edited a couple of different times, but it was important for me to keep my voice. So you will definitely hear my voice in the book. I had it out with a couple of, or at least one New York editor, which I had to flush. But what I wanted to talk about in this first video was really the outline. And because real estate investing is a journey, and what you're going to find in the book, because again, we invested before the crash, during the crash, after, and the return, is we broke the book basically into two parts. The first 2/3 of the book are our 15-year journey. It's not a how-to book. It's not do this, do that, any of that. It's, hey, we jumped in with both feet. Sometimes we got smacked, and sometimes it worked out. So what you're going to see is phase one, and I'm just reading right from the content section. Phase one, jump into the game. Really, phase one is about, okay, can't invest in our market, too expensive. Where do we go? We got our first house. Ouch, that hurt. You'll hear about a horrible experience we had in our first rental. We'll talk about our capital we had when we started and moving forward. We'll talk about phase two, doing your homework. Okay, now you're doing this. How do you figure it out? How do you understand your deals? What does that homework look like? Phase three is the real estate crash. That crash was painful. To say we saw it coming is frankly a lie. We didn't see it coming, but we did know it was too expensive. So we did something and did some exchanges right near the peak that saved us and allowed us to continue moving forward. Then phase four is, we hit the pause button, right? What do we do as we're coming out of this? So lots of important stuff there to be talked about. Really about 60% of the book is trying to take the reader on our journey of 15 years from a single house to, nearly 200 rental units. Then I thought it was important to try to summarize lessons learned, kind of keys. I do include 21 key topics every investor needs to understand. I talk about each one individually. They are kind of in collection important to me. We do share post-retirement. A lot of people are asking, okay, what are you doing now that you're done? A lot of it is obviously giving back. We created this YouTube channel, wrote the book. We are still growing our portfolio, so we're not done, but we do spend time giving back. And then finally, I rounded out with 11 key ideas that I thought were important to move forward. So again, that's what's in the book. it is really meant to be, again, a follow-on to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's how I wrote it. It's okay. Rich Dad, Poor Dad changed my mindset, but what happened? How did we move forward, right? In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they talk about a condo in Oregon and Hawaii, I think. But I wanted to take you on our journey and try to point at the signposts and show you that the path is at least somewhat worn, so you could come along and follow along. So again, do not get this book hoping for a how-to book. It's not a how to do this. It's not a how to calculate ARV. It's not a book about Burr. It's not a book about even, calculating cap rates or, gross rent multiples or anything of that. It's not that. It's, hey, this is one couple's journey from a single rental unit to financial freedom. Yes, we raised a daughter. I get asked that all the time. Yes, we both worked. Yes, we live in an expensive part of town. And yes, success leaves clues. That's a great comment there. So in the end, I just wanted to let you know what one rental at a time is, why it's there, why I hope lots of people read it and get inspired. I wrote the book to hopefully show the good and bad and to hopefully show you that, you know what? There's nothing special about Michael and Olivia, and if they can do it, we can do it. That's really what I hope people take from the book. It takes focus, commitment, consistent execution, live below your means, conservative financing, all the boring stuff. But if you're committed to it, there could be a really nice outcome. So that's why we wrote the book. That's what's in the book. Again, if you've got it, please leave a review on Amazon or Audible. Lots of you have sent me selfies already, but if you want, take a selfie outside or with your family. I'd appreciate it. Those are always fun to get. Have a wonderful day. Take care.